Hi, I'm Dan, and you're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we're not going to pay you. It's done. We're not. Stop asking. We also have a sponsor today, Private Internet Access, which I will talk about later, but let's just get right into it. We've talked a lot about pensions and what would happen if people didn't get their pensions. And as I get older and as I get closer to Social Security age, my friends, family members, colleagues, people I work with ask me time and again, do you think we're going to get Social Security? Do you think it'll be available for us? And you have to live your life like it's not, okay? That's the worst part, because so many people are out there trying to sit there and say that they're planning on this money. We just got notified by the 3M Corporation that they are canceling their pensions for non-union employees. And you can say, well, I'm sure everybody that works there is part of the union. Absolutely not. All the people that I worked with in the medical space, none of them were part of the union. So these people lost everything, okay? Now what 3M is doing is they're saying, listen, we're going to give these people, time to, make up for this, and we're going to give them a 5-year period. So no more new pensions, no more additions to it. Any new hires are not going to have it, but we're canceling the pension as of 2028. And you can sit there and say, oh, big deal, Dan, it's a problem, okay? It's a problem, guys, because, as I started looking at this and going down this rabbit hole, you run into things like the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, which is kind of like the FDIC in a sense, where they look at making sure that pensions are solid. And when you get letters from them, that's end of days. That means that the company did something nefarious. They were going out of business, they're going bankrupt. They're trying to solidify these funds to make sure people are going to get paid. But the problem with it is that you're going to see more and more corporations that are going to do this and get rid of this. Now, if you're 30, my pension's not going to be there when I'm 65. You don't care. You really don't. You have plenty of time, and you may not even work for the 3M Corporation. But the rest of the people out there that have this money are doomed, okay? Because it's not going to be there. And what these people do is they invest as little as they can. They will do things like buy annuities and step it up and cover the investment any way that they can. Now, want to remind you guys, remember the movie Wall Street? And the first one, okay? Gordon Gekko gets introduced to the idea of buying Blue Star Airlines from Bud Fox, from Charlie Sheen. Remember the overfunded pension from Blue Star Airlines, and by buying the company, Gordon Gekko could break up the pieces, buy an annuity, buy an insurance policy, give the people the bare minimum, okay? And he made hundreds of millions of dollars for doing that. And that kind of goes over everybody's head, but that's exactly what happens. That's what companies like this are doing, is that, whatever, bye. But now think about this. 3M restructured its company in the last year and got rid of restructured 6,000 people. I love that word. We restructured 6,000 people. No, we got rid of 6,000 people, okay? You can call it whatever you want. I'm also in Naples too, on the Grand Canal. It's nice walking through. The weather's good. A huge rainstorm above us, but we're skating on it right now. So you're going to see more and more of this right now. And these companies will talk about how things are okay and it's the status quo. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? Let's say we don't hit a recession. There's a great story below talking about how we're not going to have a recession in 2024, but we're going to have very unstable and bumpy times. Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough for you guys to sit there and be cautious about your income, be cautious about how you spend money, how you waste money, what you buy, That should be enough to motivate anybody to be cautious right now. No recession. Who cares if there's a recession? You do if you're in business. You do if you own an office building or a strip center. You're going to sit there and see problems happen like you've never seen before. Now, my buddy, I have two friends that own different foreclosure companies and do different facets of the industry. Buddy that I had dinner with last night, Doug, was telling me how the banks are reaching out because they have people that, believe it or not, and people don't believe this, but here in California, that have not made a house payment in approaching 4 years now. Just didn't do it. Didn't do it. Didn't take any of the offers, didn't take the forbearance, didn't take the extensions, didn't take the refinance. And the banks are, hey, listen, yeah, my husband lost his job, we're not going to do this, and give these people one more shot. We'll delay, delay, delay. Well, guess what? Those days are done, guys. They are starting to come after these people. And you can sit there and say, we're at a 20-year low for foreclosures. You're right. It's low right now. But when this guy is getting busy, and when I'm sitting there, at dinner, look, I got another one. He does the postings on the houses. He likes to do the postings on the houses. He's very good at it. Before, dinner yesterday, day before he did 11. Yesterday he did 8. But he had meetings in the afternoon, so I had to get my 8 done before the meetings. He would do, a month ago, 4 a week, okay? It'd be a good week, 4. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, okay? 8 in a day, guys. 19. He's got more to do before it gets dark, okay? So it's getting worse right now. But when you hear about these pensions and read the story below, what happens if your pension gets canceled? What do you do? Please understand this, guys. They're going to fire people so that they don't have to pay them. They're going to restructure the old people so they don't have to pay them. Oh, Dan, that's illegal to do that. You're right. But not everybody's going to have the wherewithal and common sense to sue their brains out. So 3M, what they're doing, I think it's terrible, personally. And again, they're having trouble, or they wouldn't be doing this. They're not doing this because everything is great. You don't get rid of 6,000 employees because things are like this. Share your thoughts on this so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access is a VPN. It's a virtual private network. And this is something that you need to have in your life, whether you're in business, you're by yourself, you have a house full of people using your computer. What it does is it gives you a level of encryption from your device to any website you're going to. This includes your bank, your pension, your brokerage account, anywhere. Public, government accounts, public places, anything. When you think about all the stories that we've had over the course of the last even 3 months, it is staggering how many people have been hacked and had ransomware attacks. You can protect yourself by taking matters into your own hands, by getting private internet access. I am thrilled to announce that for the 2nd year in a row, this has been our product of the year. I don't know of anything better that I've purchased. I bought this product and used it prior to them sponsoring my channel. It is absolutely fantastic, and for pennies a day. They're going to continue the pricing that they've given us through this month, so take advantage of it. Use the link below and save 83% off. It's pennies a day. But what this does is it gives you a level of protection from your device to any website you go to, and there's no hardware to install, there's no device. It is an app that you basically press a button on and it clicks it on, but you can use it on your computer, your home computer, your iPad, your cell phones, everything. And the deal I worked out is it covers the entire house. So all the devices in your home get covered for one price. Take advantage of it today, but look at all the cyber attacks. Fidelity National Bank just admitted that 1.3 million people got hit with the last cyber attack. British Library, 7 million pounds of damage, okay, because of what the ransomware took and all the different information. Think about that. You give the library your personal information, your address, your phone number, email. That's valuable to people. And then the one that really blew me away was the Toronto Zoo. The Toronto Zoo got hacked, and the worst part about this was that they're saying all the data, hey, friends of the zoo, all the people that filled out all those extra programs to benefit the animals are getting taken advantage of because their information wasn't protected. Contact Private Internet Access today. Use the link below, open it up, flip it on, press one button, and as soon as it goes green, you're protected. Right now, I can surf the internet and not have to worry about anybody getting my data. I am protected. It's that simple, guys, but you can have this on all your devices. It's that simple to use. One button turns it on. But think about everything else that you are involved in. If you're involved with any clubs, organization, your church, you guys should have a VPN. The Lutheran Church just got hit with a ransom attack, and they should have had private internet access. So check it out today. Use the link below. Save 83%. Now, this is a familiar theme that we're going to hear a lot of moving forward, and that is another commercial real estate building that is basically getting taken back by the bank. 888 Hudson. Think about this. It was completed in early 2020, and they tried to get $79.8 million in financing last week to keep the place afloat, and the bank said no. All the banks said no, because this mixed use place, which is residential and commercial, is completely upside down. Now think about this. They have 54 of 90 units that are still not sold. So you have people living in a building that basically went back to the bank. Who's managing the building? Oh, that's a problem. The commercial locations that are there, who's managing that? Targets and different store locations that are in the building are going to be shuttered too. I'm sure you're going to have to kick some of these people out because people aren't paying their rent down there either. But you're going to hear more and more of this. You're going to hear more problems with these commercial lenders that are upside down. Now, my friend meeting with the foreclosure guy is, listen, we cannot deny how busy commercial foreclosures are going to be, Dan. So we're getting approved through the banks right now to be able to deal with this. And the price, understand this, here in California, different states have different fee structures, and you can only charge so much to the bank to run a foreclosure, to process, the posting, the sale, all the legal notices, everything. Well, certain, private lenders, there's no fee. You can get 1% of the value. So, if you have a, $2 million property, you can get $20,000 for processing a foreclosure. It is crazy what they can make. The commercial, sky's the limit. But what they see is a complete change in the commercial moving on the commercial side because it's getting so much busier. And 888 Hudson is just another example of that. You're seeing this more and more and more around the country. There is a store in San Francisco called Stuff, which I've seen. Never knew what Stuff did when I was there, and I haven't been to San Francisco in 4 years now, thank God. But Stuff is one of those eclectic stores for furniture and different things like that. Liquidation sale time before their closure. So if you guys want to go to Stuff in San Francisco, you can go there. But you're going to see more and more of this because people are off. People don't have the money. People are not spending the money. And you're seeing more and more problems like this right now. So let me know about this, guys. I mean, so many businesses are shuttering right now. I get restaurants sent to me all the time now. I'm getting all these different places like Stuff and places like that that are sent, and you're going to see more problems. But what happens when you're paying your rent and the landlord gets foreclosed upon? Now, because of 2008, they put new restrictions that we just can't kick you out, even though people are signing leases and things like that. They give them extensions here in California and other states. But what happens on a commercial property? What happens? What features do you lose? What happens with security? What happens? Parking in New York is a disaster too. It's such a nightmare. So let me know. Share your thoughts. Isn't this place beautiful? It's just so nice. Calm. People living on the water. This little walkway around the whole place. You can walk for miles around this place. So let me know what you think about this so far, guys. Now, just to elaborate on some of the cyber crime problems and the ransomware attacks, Loan Depot is the latest company, and they're a big lender. I think number 2 or number 3 in the country right now. They just took all their systems offline. So they're not taking payments, they're not processing applications, they're not doing anything right now because it's offline because of what the bad guys did. You know, it's gonna get worse, guys. It's going to get worse. Fidelity National Bank, 1.3 million customers. The worst part about a loan application and a mortgage is if you guys pay off your mortgage, they still have the data in their system. This is where these guys are going to get their brains sued out, because Mr. Cooper, the problem with them is that they bought all those lenders from, you know, mortgages from places like Wells Fargo and places like that. And the fascinating thing about this is that they got hacked for basically closed mortgages too. They got into those files. You know, Christmas Day, you know, there was a hacking of a Lutheran church network. And this is terrible, guys, because, you know, nothing is sacred. Nothing is clean. And again, haha, we showed them, we went after them. You know, it's terrible, guys. It's absolutely terrible. You know, I joked about the zoo earlier, and you can sit there and think that that's no big deal. The thing about the zoo is most people have a rewards program when you buy anything, and your credit card that you use to buy tickets. Hey, you got to buy tickets online now. Give us your name, address, and phone number. They have all that. So, you know, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're going to have all that. You know, the 23andMe people, when they issued their press release about everything that they went through, they said people should change their passwords more often. You should. You should do it quarterly. You should, you know, it's like the air filter on your furnace. You know, I have like days, like the start of the year, okay? All the air filters get changed, okay? I remind all my friends, all my family members, what size, I'm gonna go buy air filters. Check your size and I'll do it for you, because it takes seconds to a minute to change the you know, air filter in your furnace. Plus the other thing is the air filter in your car. And how about the cabin filter? Do you guys know what that is? It's like, you know, you drive your car around, it's the filter that filters the air inside the car. When was the last time you changed the cabin filter inside your car? You should do that too, because that takes minutes too. And if you have a simple car like a Prius, it's in the glove box. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So look it up online. It's great. You can change the cabin filter yourself without even paying a mechanic. And you'll have fresh air in the car too. Okay? Share your thoughts on this stuff so far. One thing I should have elaborated on earlier was, you know, the group that talked about slow growth and no recession was Chapman University. Chapman University does a state of the economy every year, and it's a big deal. They talk about recession, they talk about the growth that's expected for Southern California and the country, but they're talking right now about how they're going to have, you know, no recession but slow growth. And if you knew this and you read this report below, you'd sit there and say, oh, okay, well that's enough, guys. If you know that things are not going to improve, they're going to be where they're at, you should do something about that. You know, Tesla's biggest rival, I love this one. Half the dealers are not going to sell EV cars. Who's Tesla's biggest rival? Who's a rival to Tesla? Seriously, okay? They say it's Ford, okay? Well, Ford, half of the Ford dealers are not going to sell electric cars. They don't want to sell the electric cars. They don't want the headache of the electric cars. You know, so again, I don't get it. I don't get the fascination with these things. I don't get the problems that people are having with them left and right, and the expense, the insurance, everything about this. In an economy that you want to cut back on, two things. Mark Cuban talked about what he looks for when hiring people. And again, professionalism, the normal things. But is this person willing to go the extra mile? Are they willing to give more to the company and to set an example than just be there and exist? And that led me down this road that I wanted to tell you the story, because, I mean, Mark Cuban, these billionaires have a strategy for success, and they also do more than the average person does every time. Now, I want you to think about this. Jeff Bezos, two things about him. There's a great article below about how much money that guy makes. And I want you to understand, in 13 minutes, this guy makes more money than in some people's lifetimes, okay? It's crazy, 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 crazy. So he makes millions of dollars a day, basically, and you know, whether you like the guy, you don't like the guy, there's something to be said about that. But the one thing that I followed with Jeff Bezos for years is his way of running a meeting. Now, think about this. Try this next time you get into a meeting. Everybody wants to be the first one to talk, and people would say, Jeff would say, I don't want to be the first one to talk. I want to be last, because I've learned that if I talk first and somebody's leaning in one direction or they're going in this way, I may sway, what they want to say, because they want to follow my parameters and my guidelines and what I'm thinking about. And I thought, that's a really great way of doing it, because you just get everybody's input. The other thing that this guy does, and I do this, it's the greatest thing ever, is if you have a meeting agenda, hey, we have an agenda, people send it out in advance, and most people are lazy. I'm not reading work stuff now. I'll get there. And then they'll sit down in the meeting and go, yeah, I just perused it. No, what he would do is he starts a meeting, here's the agenda, everybody read it. Let me know when the last person's done, take your time. So if it takes 20 minutes for somebody to finish reading the agenda, they all wait until this person gets done. And the advantage to that is that there's no, just somebody giving it, a half-assed shot. You have everybody contributing to the meeting that's giving their full attention and full detail. And again, look at people like this. There's a reason they've got all that money. It's not just because they're criminals and bad guys. They've done something right. And when you follow this and follow these guidelines like this, it can make you more successful in whatever you want to do, okay? I'm telling you, get the job, get anything. That's the other thing, is also if you're looking for work, you're looking for something else, go around and look at what other people are doing right now, okay? So, the dogs are upset. One of them is, okay? Share your thoughts, guys, on this stuff so far. I love when you guys send me things, and I got the Orchard blog sent to me talking about the affordability of real estate, and they do all the stats, which are what everybody cares about outside of California, and the average house was $431,000, and it was down for the year, $37,000. Wasn't that? No, it was down on an average $37,000, and we have a 3.6 month supply of inventory nationally for houses. And before that, it was at 3.3%, so it's ticking up 0.3%. The average mortgages that were written were between 7.8 as the high to 7.3% as the low. And they think that they're going to go to 6.8 to 7.1%. So, wow, guys, it's high. Now, in Orange County, California, there is a shopping center called the Spectrum, Irvine Spectrum. Beautiful, fun place, huge. It expanded, and they've literally taken every single inch of real estate there. They have a Nordstrom's there, a Target's there, all these different shops, dozens of restaurants there. And one thing that they did was they took over one of the sporting goods stores, I think it was Sport Authority, and put a Bristol Farms Newfound store. I am telling you guys, the cheese must be gold-plated there, because it's so incredibly expensive there. I have never purchased anything at that store that was not reasonable. Not a deal, nothing. It's just outrageous what things cost. Sandwiches that are $19 and cheese that's $12 a pound. Just crazy stuff. Now, because it's tied to this very expensive and very busy mall, it's got an Apple store, it's got everything there, all these different restaurants. They have a small parking lot, and they literally have a security guard here. Are you going to the store? You have to go to the store. You can only shop here for 20 minutes, then you have to leave. I'm like, wait a second, what if I want to shop at the store and go to the mall? No, you can't. You got to move your car, sir. Move your car. So that place just announced that it's going out of business at the end of February, which is no shock to anybody. No shock to anybody. Now, one thing that's crazy is, have you ever been to a Bass Pro Shop? Okay, Bass Pro Shop. It is, I don't care if you're into anything outdoors, this place is crazy fun. They have aquariums, they have you'll have the guy swimming in it with the scuba outfit, you'll have the mermaid. It's just crazy, absolutely unbelievable. But they have boats inside, barbecue grills. They have, you know, weaponry of all types. If you're into archery, you're into fishing, you're into hunting, you're into anything, they've got it there. They're huge stores. The two that I know of are off the 15 freeway in the Rancho Cucamonga area on the way to Vegas and in Las Vegas, right next to the Silverton Casino. And they're just great places. The idiot that jumped in last week naked, that they had all the video of and all the news places, was in Vegas, okay? In Irvine, California, directly on the other side of the freeway from the Bristol Farms that's going out of business, they're opening up a brand new Bass Pro Shop. It was supposed to be done, think about this, January of 2023. Well, it's 2024 now, guys, and they're still not opening. But this week they're going to have a job fair, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this is the job fair, if you want to be a cashier, starting no experience, starting at 16 bucks an hour. But if you know your trade, if you know fishing, if you know hunting, if you know camping, you know anything like that, they will pay you 34 bucks an hour to go work there. Now, the cool thing about this is that Bass Pro Shop, if you've ever been in one of these places, oh my gosh, you ask these guys, they know everything. It's what Home Depot was 20 years ago, because Home Depot used to give stock options and offer the retired electrician, hey, come work here, Ted. And, you know, hey, listen, I'm going to go wire this. What are you going to do? How big's the fixture? What do you know, and they would have a guy that did that for 30 years of his life giving you advice. It was the greatest place to shop. And then, you know, that changed, okay? It's not the greatest place to shop. And Lowe's, for that matter, tried to compete with that and do the same thing, but those days are done. But that's what Bass Pro Shop is. And if you know of anybody that wants to work there, that's a cool place to work. But it will be interesting to see with the economic downturn. Now, I think that newfound Bristol Farm store was doomed from the beginning. And again, high-end, you know, they had restaurants inside the store and all this stuff, but man, to sit there and go, oh, you know, I'll get milk before I go home from the mall, and milk is $9. You're like, no, I don't need milk that bad. Do you know what I mean? Share your thoughts on this stuff. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And, you know, not all of us can be Jeff Bezos and make $7.9 million an hour. That's what that works out to. Crazy, crazy numbers. Dawn, who always sends me cool stuff, is a Delta frequent flyer, and her birthday's coming up. So happy birthday, Dawn. But listen, you should buy a Delta ticket and we will give you a birthday present. I'm not kidding you guys. She's like, can you believe this? $25 is what they offered her. Okay, spend $500, we'll give you 25 bucks for your birthday present. Okay, not like $25 in free drinks or anything. Hey, save this coupon for later. Ridiculous. One thing that we talked about that is going to stay and is the speed cameras. In Australia, I got a great story sent to me. And the first one was Eastbrook. They had a top 10 speed cameras. Listen to how much money this is. I'll only do 2 of these, so you won't have to be bored through this. But Eastlink, Keysborough bypass, there were 26,000 fines last year to where they made $66 million from that. Now, the number one place is Princess Freeway, both directions, Point Cook, Forsyth Road, and they had 41,824 fines. And they brought in over $9.7 million. Now, the thing about this is that a friend of mine lives in Australia, and he was telling me how his son got a speeding ticket to overtake another car, and he got one of those speed camera tickets, and they were going to take away his license instantly. And because he was a young driver, he had just got his license, he would be on a probationary period, and he had to explain how bad it was, but they were just going to take away his license. So, you know, they should do more stuff like that, because I don't know if you guys heard a couple days ago, but New York City kicked out kids in high school, made them go home and let the migrants live in their high school. So again, ridiculous, guys. And the parents, of course, are angry, but you know, it's just more of the same, guys. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to start a business like Amazon so you can make $7.9 million an hour. Subscribe to the channel. Take a look at our sponsor, Private Internet Access, the product of the year for 2 years in a row, because it's so good. If you want to get a hold of me, hello@iallegedly.com, and I will see you guys very soon. So thanks for being here.